Welcome to another episode of Coaching Through Uncertainty. I'm Brianna Hodges, National Faculty for Future Ready Schools. And today with me is fellow Texan, Aaron Rogers. Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, where you are, and who you serve.
So my name's Aaron Rogers, not like the quarterback. He's got a D in his name, so mine's just the G. From Lubbock-Cooper Independent School District, I am the Digital Learning Coordinator. This is my third year in the role. Before this, I taught 12 years in kindergarten. So dynamic change between kindergarten, although sometimes teachers and kindergartners can be, same struggles, but that's okay. So we just bob and weave just like teachers and
Absolutely.
rambling.
I love small and tall, right? We've all got...
Yep, that's right.
We're all learning, and I would imagine that with attention spans and whatnot, being a garden teacher definitely has some advantages coming into some of these situations right now, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
And much like kindergarten, I'm guessing that you might be escorting people through some emotions these days, and
really absolutely.
Deal with
learning to hand wash again. We did that in kindergarten. The social space. These are all things we had to learn in kindergarten. So we're just revamping.
Absolutely. You definitely bring it to the front. So one of the things that I really look up to you about, Aaron, and that you just are absolutely crushing this, is your focus on video and how that can be used from a coaching perspective, specifically with teachers. I would imagine that coming through the spring semester, the end of the spring semester with the pandemic, that probably came in pretty handy. What can you tell us about your experiences, and just kind of take us from kind of the beginning of how did it come,
Sure.
and just what your process has been?
So before I got this job teaching kindergarten, I just loved what I was doing, and there wasn't a ton of resources specifically for kindergarten. So I started my own YouTube channel just as a way for me to be creative and share and just have some fun with it. And that really took off and did well. And I had a lot of support from other teachers like, yes, we want more content. So when I got this job, I asked if I could just start doing that in this role. And so I started making digital learning videos. And then as that started rolling, teachers really enjoyed the fact that they could access the learning when they were ready, when they wanted to learn that specific skill, instead of only having that one opportunity in the room with them. So as that started taking off, so we started the YouTube channel, which is Lubbock-Cooper Digital Learning. And then, I don't know if you can post some things at the bottom, but it's url.lcisd.net/DL. And so we've actually taken all the videos and put them into kind of a organized website. So you can search by what product you're wanting to use or what type of learning you're using, and you can get specific videos for that, which has been awesome, because then anytime that I go work with a teacher, when I leave by the end of the day, they're getting an email from me with a link to the videos that we've talked about, so that they can then get that knowledge later on, which is nice, because then when you're working with teachers, you can put your pencil down, just absorb, just talk, knowing that you have that resource waiting for you. But it's also been really great for Lubbock-Cooper. We have a really wonderful support team. So we have a tech support person on every campus. We have a digital learning specialist on every campus, which their role is to support teachers with technology, but also with curriculum. So the fact that if they need a resource, they can go dig through all the videos, find what they need, send it to the teacher as maybe sometimes even a pre-teach, where it's like, hey, here's a resource, and then I'll come check with you, see how that went, and then we can follow up on that. So it's been really great as kind of this teach as you need, which in this time period with COVID, this is what we're asking teachers to do. We're asking teachers to create content, create some stuff where it's not having to be live. And so it's awesome that I can kind of put my money where my mouth is, which is, hey, if I want teachers to be teaching with video, I need to be doing that as a support system.
I absolutely love this. So let's kind of unpack a couple things.
Let's do it.
And I love that we're talking about how you can just completely engage in that conversation, knowing that you have these resources that you can then share immediately afterwards. Because so often, right, especially when we're talking through new content or new to that person content, your brain kind of moves all around, and then it's like, where am I follow up with this, and oh gosh, I forgot about this part. And so I love that you have that opportunity to really connect in and not feel super rushed in that conversation, to be able to give them that part that comes back in that. And I can imagine that that would be so helpful for those teachers in that way. The other thing that I really loved that you brought out was talking about the team that you guys have there, and the support that's there, knowing that you also have some consistency that's there in the videos, because we talk about that too, of how sometimes our messages are the same, but sometimes our techniques aren't similar. And so then there gets to be a little bit of confusion when people are trying to understand that. And so I would think that that's kind of helpful too, to have, that consistency that comes in from those pieces. So one of the things that you hit on at the very end was talking about that as a model for your teachers. And I would love for you to talk a little bit about, because sometimes when we make that to video, the hardest thing is to know what to put on the video.
Yep.
So what are, and I know for our teachers, well, how am I supposed to decide what needs to be, face-to-face, what needs to be lecture, what needs to be, an experience, all these different types of things. How are you choosing what content to video? And how do you recommend teachers kind of work through that?
For sure. So, for me, I realized really quickly that video is king, right? If you look at these kids, and I fall in this category too, if I want to learn something, my first stop is YouTube, because I guarantee somebody's made a video that shows me how to do that. And that's what these kids do. And so they've learned to learn through that, kind of like those micro learning opportunities through those videos. And so as a teacher, I think it's awesome to be able to, instead of trying to put your whole content out there, is to put these little chunks to where then students can kind of take what they need. Because some kids don't need the 45-minute math lesson. They may need just the how do I carry over. And so instead of thinking about I need to make a 45-minute video in my room, it's, hey, what are some of the learning pieces that the kids are going to need to have access to? And that's what I do with my videos as well. At first I tried to make really long videos and explain, and the view count on those was low. When I realized, about 2 minutes, 3 minutes is the intention that I can get with those kids. So it's finding that one learning thing that they need, putting it in a video, and then having them be able to access that when they need it. So like for some teachers, they'll use some of my videos in Google Classroom to where they may not know how to embed a video in a numbers application, but they can say, hey, here's a video Mr. Rogers made, watch this and then do that. So they can focus on the content and then use these videos as resources for how to use the tool. And so if you think about that as a teacher, it's, the kids are going to understand the big idea. It's, hey, I don't remember how to do the specific thing. So let me make a couple videos that you can access when you're learning at home, and maybe you're not in that lesson where it's live. So students aren't having to email you. They can just watch you, write it out. So screen recording, carry the 3, etc., really is helpful instead of that big chunked video.
I love that. So it's almost like looking at it as steps, and then remembering that you can assemble all of those in like a playlist. And so, then that way, like you said, breaking it down little bit by little bit, and just like whatever it is that you're teaching, what are the steps that you need to have in there? Have, several apart.
It's like a menu where you go to a restaurant, right? I don't need all of the things on the menu, but I never know what I need until I open that menu. So if you have a menu of learning videos for your classroom, as the student's learning, they open that menu, find the thing they wanted, and then just consume that one piece of information versus having to scroll through 30-minute video.
Awesome. So do you think that, would your recommendation be, if you're starting out with video, to really kind of start out from that procedural kind of practical standpoint, as opposed to more of the, like from a content standpoint, more of that like theoretical abstract piece? Where do you recommend teachers, you shared some of your trials and your learnings, right?
Yep.
Make this big, huge video. And now I kind of bring it apart. Or bring it down and break it apart. What are some tips that you could have for our teachers out there jumping in?
I think the big thing about videos is you got to be relatable. If it's just a talking head with a screen recording and there's not at least a little bit of excitement, you're going to lose the audience. The videos that I did really well in my own YouTube channels were ones that were a little bit personal. So having a few videos at the start about yourself is, I think, a really great way for a teacher to start. It also shows that vulnerability of like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm willing to try this. And so maybe the first couple of videos can be just a personal connection with the students that they could respond to, using Flipgrid or other things to where they can make videos as well. So once you start that communication with video and students kind of realize it's a safe place, then you can move into more of the specific stuff, but it still needs to be exciting. So, it's okay to start the video with you just talking, but it doesn't need to be a 30-minute video. It's, hey, I'm really excited about this. We're going to be learning about X, Y, and Z. Just like when we teach in the classroom, here's what I'm teaching you. Here's why it's important. And here's how to utilize it in this learning. So that those I can statements are still important in that video. Then you can go into the content. But again, like I'm talking right now, right? Super ADD over here. You got to have some enthusiasm in your voice. These poor babies that are learning at home are consuming a lot of video, especially with these like 45-minute Zoom sessions with teachers. And so if there's not a break in the monotony, so I like to add a little song at the very beginning, just as like a hook to get kids in, just like a commercial, right? So keep it short, keep it relatable, and keep it fun.
I love just like in the classroom, like you said, if we're not inspired, and exciting doesn't mean that you have to have lasers and, smoke or any of that kind of stuff. It just means some energy and some enthusiasm in your presentation, right? And you're engaged and you're excited to be there. You're excited about your content. You're excited that your kids are tuning into you and connecting with you, and remembering that energy is what's going to get us through. Nobody wants to be the Bueller. We that one over and over again. Okay. So that said, I want to ask you a couple questions that we've been consistently asking, and see a little bit. So
okay.
First and foremost, things are really uncertain these days. I mean, in Texas specifically, like we've got all kinds of stuff that's going on. We're kind of going by day with things, it seems. What is something that you kind of keep in your back pocket, if you will, that keeps you coming back for your stuff with that energy, with that enthusiasm, with a smile on your face? I don't think I've ever not seen you without a smile on your face, Aaron, in the time that I've known you. But how do you do that? How do you keep filling other people up, knowing that we don't have a lot of answers these days?
I think I always lean back that education, first and foremost, is a connection. Whether it's a connection between a student and a teacher, or between a teacher and their admin, or admin and central office. And the times that I have enjoyed my job the most is when I made that personal connection. And so I now lean on, when I see these teachers going above and beyond and making videos and dressing up and being silly, if that's what I can see them doing for their students, then it's only fair that I put in at least double that, right? If I'm going to be somebody in the central office, I can't phone it in and be boring. I have to continually feed off that energy that they're giving their kids. And so I just really have used the teacher's ability to bob and weave and adapt to this new environment. And I don't hear a lot of complaining. I don't hear a lot of whining about it. It's like, okay, what can I do to change these kids' lives, right? And so it's just knowing that what we do makes such a big difference in these students' lives, regardless of it, they're at home or they're in the classroom, that what I do on a daily basis is such a rewarding thing. And so just that sparkle from teachers just keeps me coming back for more.
I love that. Learning has no location. I love that.
That's right.
All right. So last one, you are one of the nation's top instructional leaders, hands down. I know this. I've witnessed it firsthand. What is something that we can maybe steal from your playbook a little bit of a strategy that you're trying out this year? I know you're super big on video. I know you're super big on connection and communication. What is something that we can kind of steal from your magic and put in our pocket as we face the challenges this year?
I think for me, the big one this year is that teachers can't wait for you. And so that's why I love the videos. And so in fact, there's times where I'm teaching the teacher or something comes up that I wasn't prepared for. And I will make sure that even if it's during lunch, I get that short video made for them, because these teachers are in the trenches right now. And I can't say, I'll get this video to you in 2 weeks. That learning opportunity is done. And so if you see a spark, you have got to fan that flame instantly. And so that's what's been amazing in our district. Our DLSs on our campus are amazing at that. Our curriculum team is amazing at that. And so our whole team just knows that when we see that spark, we're going to chase it. Because if we wait and go through, all these steps of, well, I don't really have time today, by the time I get that video made or that learning opportunity done, they've moved on because they are chasing the kids' spark. And so we've got to be just as fast as those teachers are with chasing the spark with students.
you're in the moment learning, right? Like that's
Absolutely.
so important. I love that. This has just been such an incredible opportunity to get to learn with you and to hear all the amazing things that you guys are doing in Lubbock-Cooper. I can't say it enough. If you have not checked them out, definitely go and see. They are blowing it up all across the state and country. They're coming for you. So thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. Keep fighting, keep teaching, keep inspiring, and we will see you guys at our next episode. Again, I'm Brianna Hodges, and thank you, Aaron Rogers, for being here. And
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Absolutely. Everybody out there coaching through uncertainty, we hope that that you found some things to take with you today. Thanks so much, guys. Coaching Through Uncertainty is a Future Ready Schools podcast series that explores the new shifts in teaching and learning that are happening right now. Future Ready instructional leaders, coaches, and teachers are navigating challenges that were theoretical, optional, or barely feasible only last year, but have now become full-blown, full-speed, in-the-moment realities. Coaching Through Uncertainty is hosted by me, Brianna Hodges, National Faculty for Future Ready Schools. In each episode, we'll connect with Future Ready coaches on a mission to inspire, engage, and amplify innovative professional practice. We'll hear from the nation's top instructional leaders as they share their experience, expertise, and advice to reimagine teaching and learning to better suit today's learners with tomorrow's tools. You can subscribe and listen to Coaching Through Uncertainty wherever you get your podcasts. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Coaching Through Uncertainty and Future Ready Schools are projects of the Alliance for Excellent Education. Together we're better. Together we're future ready.